Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, join the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you know when we upload a new video. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this journey called life. Ever since I've been talking about the journey and what it takes to live the journey and just embracing the life we live, this topic came up. And one thing about me is I was a Nipsey Hussle fan, so it really caught me off guard, for him to be shot so brutally. But what really tripped me out today, just 4 hours ago, they released an article that said, Eric Holder was indicted. And the reason why he shot him is they had an argument or disagreement. He came back to the store with a gun. Now, I already have an issue with gun violence and people being able to so easily take another person's life, but I just don't understand how arguments end in taking a person's life. Like, this is the part that really got me. So now his sister has gotten custody of his daughter, and it's so much pain and tragic event connected to just an argument. I never understood the whole Eric Holder situation because I feel like people, get mad about situations all the time. But for him to get into an argument with him and then come back up to the store and fatally shoot him, like that to me, of course he pled not guilty, and I believe they set bail at like $6.53 million. But I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. I wish that there were more laws that restricted the usage of guns and people being able to have access to guns, but it really just caught me off guard. And like I said, I normally don't cover material like this. My husband does. He's Billionaire Charlie. People see it on his page all the time. And once he started covering the topic of Nipsey Hussle, we got a lot of feedback, positive and negative. People were like they were really like, it was cruel. And to me, I didn't understand why. Like, I'm a teacher, and I look at our generation, and it hurts me to see so many kids getting caught up in disagreements that end in fatalities. And then because I'm a teacher and an educator, I look at the condition of the world and the messages that we're sending our kids. And when I would read my husband's comments, and it was crazy, because I'm looking at our people, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not a bigger person that gets into race, debates, but I feel like it was mainly our people of our culture coming with so much hatred and so much animosity toward one another. And I'm looking at it like, why? What is it going to take? What is it going to take? You know what I'm saying? I even noticed the situations where we would go places and it was so people, you such and such. And I'm like, really? This is how we're doing? Yeah, we want to, put a positive message out there, and people are not, I tell my students every day, everyone's not going to agree with you. Someone's not going to like something that you said. This is America, and we have a right to free speech. My kids study the Constitution. So at the end of the day, my third graders study the Constitution. They started the year with doing the Constitution preamble, and when we look at it, to me, the generation right now, I don't understand the hatred. I don't understand the level of thinking that a person has to have to go after someone, take their life, and it was over an argument. And I know I've been in moments when I was arguing with somebody and it got real heated, and I get it. People always talk about, the disrespect, and people are not going to disrespect them. And I understand it, but I'm just looking at our generation, our young people, our future. And this is what they are patterning their lives after, what we're teaching them. And I'm never going to be the type of person that's going to run with the crowd and say, oh, I agree, let's jump on the bandwagon. I'm not a bandwagon person. You know what I'm saying? I've lost a lot of friends because I'm a person who's willing to say, I don't agree with everything. You know what I'm saying? I really believe that we need to be teaching our kids to, deal with conflict resolution, so they don't feel like, oh, the way I need to handle this is, the street code of ethics. It's painful. And I listened to one of my students after Nipsey Hussle was killed. And one of my third grade students said to me, that it didn't matter if you actually grow up and become great, because being great don't keep you from getting killed. And honestly, I just when you're teaching third grade students and they say, oh, well, being in the limelight will put a target on your back. Why are these kids saying these things? They say it because they've been taught that they gotta be afraid to become somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because as long as guns are freely out on the road, any disagreement can end in someone losing their life. And that's the part I just don't understand. I don't agree with. I wish there was a way that restrictions were there in place. I look at the laws and I'm like, certain things are illegal, but we have a right to bear arms. That is one of our constitutional rights, the right to bear arms. But I still feel like, like my husband is in security, and I often think to myself, like, what happens in that moment when you take someone's life and you can't go back from that? You can't undo that. I look at those officers who feared for their lives and took someone's life. I can say that I know some of them probably thought afterwards, I don't know, what if I had done it differently? Some of them, because it's a political, racial, where I always tell my students I don't do all of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going there. What I am saying is, where's the person who takes a life and then afterwards thinks, I just wish I hadn't done that? A friend of mine got into an argument with her ex-wife, went to her job, and shot her dead because she was hurt and because of an argument or because of several arguments or all different issues, that underlying issues. But the reality is, having access to guns means that people are going to die. And I understand what people, like a person who's frustrated with a gun, can do. Accidents can happen. Intentional things can happen that people will live to regret. Wow. So like I said, when I looked at the indictment for Eric Holder, it really caught me off guard. It caught me off guard because I love my students, and I couldn't imagine them getting older, and the summative of their life is, I got into an argument, I went back and I killed someone. I got into an argument, I went home, I got a gun, went back and killed someone. So now it's not just like in the heat of the argument, it's premeditated because you went back, you got a gun, you thought of what you were going to do, you went back, you followed through with doing it. Other people were injured, and it was all over an argument. We often joke sometimes because, I'm older. We'll say, I remember back in the day when we get in arguments, be outside, fighting, and, after we squared up, it was over. That's not our generation no more. I don't even remember. Like, I know, like, what was the coverage of the girl in Chicago who got into the fight outside the school, and when she got outside of the school, the girl killed her? Like, this is the generation that we're living in now. And it seems like somebody needs to give an account for what happened. Why? Why are these guns so accessible? Why are people able to easily get access to a gun and end someone's life? What message are we really teaching? I asked the question in one of my other videos. What message are we sending these young people? I'm a teacher. Somebody, with all of these comments that they put on my husband's video, somebody come on my video and tell me, what do I tell my students? And I've taught high school, I've taught kindergarten, I'm teaching third grade now. What do I tell my students? That I'm supposed to be giving them hope for a future, a life, and they look at the reality of this world and they don't see it. That's the most painful thing. I don't know if you've ever worked with kids or dealt with kids, but if you've ever seen a kid who's lost hope, how is that possible at 9 and 10 and 11 years old? We've got to do better, man. I'm not just saying, myself as an educator. I'm saying all people. We've got to do better, man. When you look at your own kids, when you look at your neighbor's kids, and you see this is the future, that person or that child is supposed to be the hands of tomorrow and even today, and to some, extent. What are we doing for them? Are we actually training them up in the way they should go? What are we instilling in them? And I am a God-fearing person. I do believe in, God, and giving them a foundation of spirituality, because if you don't, I mean, I can't judge anyone. I don't judge anyone for what they do or do not do. But what I'm saying is, what are we giving our kids? What message does it send them? Why do they know this information? Why do they come into the school with this information? Already knowing what's happening to the latest rapper, what's happening in the latest gang. And my job is to educate them so that the future is in good hands. And this boy, Eric Holder, got into an argument, went back, and killed this man. Where's the problem? I have so many theories and ideas of where the problem lies myself, but you know, I'm just an educator who wants to see our future be great, let alone let our kids be great. Anyway, I just saw that indictment and I had to come up here and speak about it. Don't forget to love God, love life, and enjoy the journey. I'm pretty sure my husband will be bringing you more news on Billionaire Charlie TV. Look him up, he's a YouTuber. We went through so many incidences since we started covering this, but it's all good because, like I said, everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's not going to agree with you, and that's life. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. If you haven't bought my book yet, Free Me From the Traps, go look that up on Amazon. My son's book, Kaiser the Butterfly, about limb differences. Find that on Amazon. We're so thankful that you came to visit us today. Love God, love life, and enjoy the journey. God bless.